Hi Sergio, how are you? This is Dr. Bose giving you some video feedback on your literacy narrative. Um, this is an interesting paper, and I think you started to explore some really cool ideas. Language brings together people and defines cultures of the world. I was born in Brazil and lived there until I was 10 years old. As a child, I spoke Portuguese and Spanish. It wasn't until I moved to the United States that I had to learn English. Not only the language was new, but the culture was new as well. It was a huge adjustment for me to acclimate to this new life. As a young kid, it was easier for me to adapt to English than my parents. I worked hard as a young kid to learn this new language to help my parents. I absolutely love this first paragraph, and what I'm expecting people to do in this paper is to focus on a significant event, maybe one or two one that are events that are coming from that, and give us more detail. From here on out in this paper, you describe more than one or two. You describe a few. Um, you describe, let's see, you join a second grade school spelling bee. Um, since then, you talk about how it's affected you. So, this is when you go into throughout my middle and high school years, and I improved my English immensely. I became just as good at English as I was at Portuguese. Okay, so you do talk about this one event, okay? But I don't feel like it's enough because you need to talk about how your language improved more. In English, that is. Actually, I don't want you to feel restricted as to think that um, you learned how to be a better communicator or a better writer because of learning English. How about thinking and writing in Spanish and Portuguese? I think it would be absolutely lovely to talk about, like, as I write about here on the assignment sheet, cultural attitudes towards literacy and explore how you've navigated some of those for better or for worse. How has your writing in your native tongue um, affected like how you see the world? In English, it's one thing, but in your native tongue, it's another. And I think it would be absolutely great if you could maybe even maybe start to talk about that. Um, Maybe use that as a way to sort of contrast with the spelling bee experience that you start to write about. It's almost like it just kind of ends on this happy note. I'm very proud of how far I've come since I moved to America. I didn't know how to speak any English when I first came here, and I'm attending a great American university. There is just like a huge gap of life and experiences, right, that are shaped by literacy that I would love to read more about. Okay, so here, let's go through with the course, and I know you came back a little bit late in the course, and you have been trying to catch up. So you do need to continue going back to finishing all those, or I'm sorry, working on all those small assignments that will help you improve on the big ones. We're in the middle of a very big project right now. So go back. Right now, you are in the category of about a very low C. Okay, there's even stuff like in the first paragraph, or I'm sorry, in the first part, in the minor part of the rubric that you're missing. It is pretty short, needs to be more focused on reading, writing, and literacy, but it is there. Name, date, class, section number, assignment name, none of that is there. No title. So, but I think despite all that, you're definitely going in the direction of like what we need to go in terms of the big topic, and so you're about at a 70 to 73. Okay, Sergio, let me know if you have any questions. Please come by. It would be very nice to meet in person. Um, we can talk. We can speak on the through a web conference on the phone, or in person if you're and my schedule allows for it. Okay, thanks for listening. I hope you have a good night.